Hi everyone, I'm Erin O'Hearn, and the Academy Awards is almost here. After what seems like an endless award season, the anticipation and excitement for Hollywood's most coveted statue, the Oscar, is at its peak. We've gotten some insight into how the show may play out with the SAG Awards, the Golden Globes, and the BAFTAs already behind us. But there are always a few surprises, whether it's in the form of an unexpected winner or an edgy, off-the-cuff PG-13 acceptance speech. Either way, it is a fun night with fabulous fashion and a room full of our favorite stars. And the best part is that it airs on your favorite station, 6ABC. And here with me today to talk everything Oscars is the undeniable leader of the film industry in Philadelphia, Sharon Pinkenson, the executive director of the Greater Philadelphia Film Office. Thank you so much for being here.
Erin, I'm so happy to be here.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is. I love the Oscars.
Yeah, so do I. Well, all those celebrity sightings that you see in the city, you can thank Sharon for. She's worked tirelessly over the past few decades to put Philadelphia on the map as a coveted destination for film production, making it very clear to LA and New York, right? Not to be so selfish.
Indeed.
Visit us in Philadelphia. So let's start with Best Actress in a Supporting Role.
Okay.
What do you think your prediction is? Because I certainly have my favorites, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I really love Margot Robbie in this film. I mean, she was, I think she's like the future. I really do. I mean, she's gorgeous and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that people really enjoy her.
Yeah.
And look forward to seeing her. She's so gorgeous.
She is gorgeous, and she's very talented, and she's actually in 2 movies that got a lot of nods from critics. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
right, and Bombshell.
And Bombshell.
I think I'd be freaking phenomenal on your network.
What was it about her performance that stood out to you in Bombshell?
You know, I think that she really took on the role.
Yeah.
She was amazing in this role. She's amazing, I think, in everything that she does.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just love watching her. But you know, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I mean, she was so delightful in that. It's really hard to decide which was the better performance.
Let's switch over to Best Actor in a Supporting Role.
Okay.
So this is funny because Brad Pitt got a lot of attention during the award season, but it wasn't necessarily for him receiving the awards. It was more about his personal life or his ex-personal life. But he had a great performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I just loved seeing him on the screen. I think he is the be-all and the end-all. You know, he made a movie in Philadelphia way back when, 12 Monkeys, and he got here on the day that he was named the sexiest man alive. So I'm all over Brad Pitt, and I got to meet him, and it was a long time ago, so I'm going for Brad Pitt.
So you know him sort of personally.
Well,
and
yes, very personally.
So what about Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? It's probably a long shot, right?
No,
but
honestly, his performance was really a tough performance. He was so good at this. I didn't think I was going to like this movie.
Yeah.
I loved the movie. I thought he was really incredible in it, and I'm really rooting for Tom.
Yeah, and I love Tom Hanks, and what was
And
so
of course,
great.
Philadelphia.
Sure, of course. Well, yeah. And you know, what was so nice about Tom Hanks is there were so many parallels between what we know of him in his personal life and Mr. Rogers, just that he's a down-to-earth guy.
You know, he's
really
a real
nice.
cut-up, too. He can be so sarcastic and so funny. And seeing him in that role was, I think it was really remarkable.
All right, so we go to Best Actress.
Best Actress.
For a lead role. And we were talking about earlier today when you came in about how Renee Zellweger not only was it a phenomenal performance, but she really physically transformed herself. Let's take a look at a clip from Judy.
The kids miss you, and they also want to stay put.
I'm coming back for them.
The movie got so-so reviews, and I thought that the story was okay, but she was phenomenal in it.
Any of us who remember seeing Judy Garland in those later years of her life and the TV show that she had, she was Judy Garland.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no doubt about it. The fact that she did her own singing, she was just stellar in this performance, and I think that she deserves it. I really do.
And to transform
I think the Academy is going to think so too.
You
by
do.
the way. I do.
Yeah, and
I think
it's kind of a comeback for her. I mean, she was sort of absent for a few years.
She was.
And now, I mean, it's like she never left. I mean, she looks phenomenal, and she just did such a lot to prepare for that role, too.
And
like
she
you
won
said.
the BAFTAs.
Yeah, she did. I loved her dress, too. All right, so Best Actor. This may be not a big surprise. Joaquin Phoenix in Joker.
I don't know how anybody could not give him the Oscar for this performance. I think that he just blew everybody away. I think he made this movie, although it was brilliantly done in every way. He lived it. He really lived it. I'm hoping he got out of the role.
Oh, I know.
Personally, but I think it was a hands down win. I really do.
And let's take a look at a clip from Joker, and then we can talk a little bit more about the controversy surrounding the Oscars for this movie.
Sure.
You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
So obviously other people had played Joker before.
Yes.
What made this role so different and him stand out so much to
It
you?
really didn't feel like he was acting. It felt like he was really that character. And anytime I've ever seen anybody playing that role before as the Joker, it felt like acting.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great acting role.
Yeah.
This, you actually believed that he was that character.
Yeah, and it made you sort of empathize with him
Oh,
and
my
understand
God,
the
yes.
backstory and sort of that he was an outlier, which brings me to another point. The Oscars and the Academy Award has received some criticism this year about the lack of diversity in the nominations, and Joaquin Phoenix actually spoke about it. What did you think of his BAFTA speech?
I thought it was right on point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've become such a fan. I've always been a fan of his, but now I'm just over the moon about him. He was just great. And I think that we should really laud him for it.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know, being in the film industry, being a woman, and seeing that there were no women directors this year, what are your thoughts on that? And that we still have a long way to go when it comes to equality in this award season.
Such baby steps. You know, we get a year where there's a couple. You know, there's some movement, and we feel like we're moving the bar. And then the next year happens, and it just kind of rolls back.
Yeah.
I think it's baby steps.
The other nominees for Best Picture, who do you think is going to take it home?
I'll tell you what I think. I thought Parasite was a revelation for me. I had never seen any of his movies before, so I totally loved that movie. And I think it could be it, but I really think that it's 1917.
Really?
I think 1917 is the kind of movie that the Academy will love.
Okay.
Because the directing and the pacing and the fact that you're at the edge of your seat the entire movie, and it was so...
One
in your
continuous
heart.
shot.
Oh,
yeah.
the fact that it was one shot was
Yeah.
amazing. So I love that movie.
So 1917.
Everybody go see it. It's
Yeah,
great.
and it's sort of like Saving Private Ryan was to World War II. 1917's that for World War I.
It was,
Yeah.
but I thought Saving Private Ryan, I thought the first 15 minutes of that movie, I
was hard to
didn't think I'd
watch.
ever want to see anything like that again. But I didn't feel that way about 1917.
Yeah.
I think 1917 was a masterpiece.
All right, so what about Best Director? Do you think 1917 will pick that up too?
I think if he doesn't win the one, would get the other.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other predictions for director? I mean, we have a foreign language film in there with subtitles. He's up. Bong Joon-ho is up for Parasite, which was a phenomenal movie. It was shot beautifully, but the message about class warfare was really powerful. And it's almost surprising because it was a bit violent that it got Best Director and Best Picture, but I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I actually think Parasite should get Best Director. I mean, this guy, where did he come from? I didn't know anything about him, and I'm mesmerized. I can't wait to see his other film.
Can't wait either. We have a lot to look forward
We
to,
do.
don't we?
We do.
All right, and we also have to look forward to the Oscars, which airs Sunday right here on 6 ABC at 8 o'clock. But all the fashion starts at 5:30. I know you're a fashion
I'm
fan
going to be,
too.
I used to be a fashion designer
I
and a
know.
costume designer, so I'm all about the fashion.
So we're going to have you back and talk about fashion too.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Or I'll just call
I
you
get a gown?
and we'll gossip. Yeah, right. All right, so don't forget to watch right here on 6 ABC, the Academy Awards. And Sharon, thank you so much for being here
Thanks,
with us.
Sharon.
That was so much
I had
fun.
so much fun.
All right, see ya.